becomes a prayer.
So, okay, the phone has been successfully turned off. It is quiet. However, it also means that I can't access my notes for the meditation, but it's okay because I do believe in miracles and I do believe in prayers, and this is going to be just fine. So, take a breath and center yourself. Find a comfortable position for meditation. And if you wish, close your eyes, trusting, knowing all is well. And our meditation today focuses on this season of growth, of new beginnings. We celebrated a resurrection of sorts last week, and now we look at how we can apply the lessons of the resurrection to ourselves. We know that every morning the sun rises. It doesn't lament the fact that yesterday is over and it's no longer shining on yesterday. It embraces the new day. We light the Christ candle every Sunday, recognizing the light of God within us that never dulls, is always available to us. And in this season, when farmers begin planting their fields, when we begin planning for our gardens, the seed becomes a wonderful metaphor for us. The seed that's buried in the ground doesn't pay attention to the soil being perfect. It just celebrates its innate force of life and sprouts upward, forward, to the light, to the sun. And so every morning when we see the sun rise, every Sunday when we light the Christ candle, during the season of spring, as we see things growing and sprouting, let it be a reminder that so too are we, always growing. It is a season of renewal, a time where we can cast aside those things that have been holding us back. We don't need to wait for the perfect day or everything falling into place perfectly to make a change. We have the power within ourselves to start afresh now. And what better time than this moment to celebrate the resurrection, to celebrate the season, to celebrate new life, and to recognize the new life that already exists within us. So taking in a deep breath, take in the wonder of your possibilities, and exhaling, release everything that's falsely been holding you back. And relish your growth, for it is your divine birthright, and so it is. And gently and with compassion, open your eyes and return to the room. Amen.
kind of interesting that my talk is called Holy Joyousness in Ordinary Things. So that certainly pertained to this morning for sure. But I was in conflict over this talk because yesterday, very sadly, we allowed Reverend Charles Petty from Bellevue, Washington State, to do a service here for his 5-week-old grandson who passed away for no reason that they know of at this state. And, you know, when I went home, I was very upset, and of course Jules wasn't. And compliment Jules. First of all, she was off and she came in, but second of all, she had less than 40 minutes to put together his music and everything that Reverend Charles needed, and it was flawless. And thank you for giving your Saturday. Thank you for being here for that. And it was so incredibly sad. And also, the couple had a 5-year-old daughter who was just uncontrollably in sadness the whole time. And I thought, how do I come in here today? And I left crying, and I went to sleep crying, and I woke up with tears in my eyes again. And I thought, how do I bring this holy joyous cheerfulness in today? And some of the things, Reverend Charles, God bless that man, what he went through to do that service for his family. But he, towards the end, was saying to the family that perhaps as right now they're broken, of course they are, but that as they get better, that maybe they'll be able to help heal another couple. And he challenged even the little granddaughter that someday when you have a sad friend, you'll know how to. And I was thinking about all of the things that we do, and that we within 3 days opened our church and said, yes, we're here. And all of the people who came in said, what a beautiful, welcoming place this is. And the gift and how we pay things forward. We constantly give back to that which is given to us. And so, yeah, heartbroken as it was, there was a kind of gentleness mixed in with all that was hurting. And so I thought about it, and then I, this morning, read through this talk, and there's so much in it that applies to what I've just said to you that I wrote this a week ago Monday, so I didn't quite even remember what was in there. But so anyhow, yeah, and look at this morning. I came in here sad, and within within 20 minutes of all of you guys, I was ready to tap dance too. So yeah. So I started out this talk with what excites you, what delights you, and what brings joy to your heart. And I think being here brings joy to our heart always, because to even get you guys to settle down is, I know where'd David go? David and I were looking at each other like, can we get them seated or what today? So yeah. So when things are working correctly in the universe, there is a loss of innocence, and it's usually followed in time by the increase of humanity's reaction to change in time. So with this family, one day, 1 5-week period of their time, all that beauty, all that innocence is in there. And then in that one split second, everything changes. So the innocence is lost, and it's followed by a time of increase in humanity's reaction to changing times. Even with Pam and Bob, they're having a perfect Saturday morning, and that phone call says, your grandson fell, he's in surgery, and in a split second, our life changes. So I believe that is where we are right now. Yeah, there's some of you that are disgruntled, anxious, but what I see more and more is happening within our communities is there's a caring and a call to a higher good. And that's what this community presents. It's a call to a higher good. And time is funny like that. With everything that it robs us from, time does rob us from things. It grants us something new, a new friend, sometimes a better understanding of ourselves, and sometimes it's just a perfect day, right? So I ask you to think about just being wholly joyous for the ordinary things. And I didn't realize that my talk was going to be absolutely spot on for what was going on within myself. Isn't it amazing how spirit works? Amazing, right? Look around. There's so much to celebrate. There really is. There's so much. You know, I was talking to the Holy Mother this morning at my front door, like I always do, and I was asking for prayers for this family as they go through this grieving process. And in the middle of that, a little tiny red squirrel goes flicking up my tree, and he's doing this dance, and then birds were zipping by, and I was like, thank you, Holy Mother. Thank you for this glimmer. Thank you for bringing, through the sadness, there's still an ordinary thing that's happening. Birds flitting about and this little funny red squirrel running around. See, so just ordinary little things, if we allow them, can lift us up and bring us to this place of, that's Holy Joyous. That's so Holy Joyous. So I'm not sure how many of you know this, but Marcus Aurelius, born in 120 AD, he's a Roman Empire and philosopher. And he wrote many beautiful meditations. And what I like about his meditations is he wrote them as notes to himself. And that's kind of how I journal. They're prayers, they're meditations, but they're to me. They're to me. And they're not meditations for us, and yet years later, they're still an integral part of philosophy. And one that I've always liked is see the world like a poet and an artist. And he writes this: pass through this brief patch of time in harmony with nature and come to your final resting place gracefully. Just as a ripened olive may drop, praising the earth that nourishes it and grateful to the tree that gave it growth. Marcus captures the simple, the ordinary things of life, of seemingly the unbeautiful events, including death itself, right? And as we move through this lifetime, being in harmony with nature then, we cannot ignore the beautifulness of ordinary things, right? I think it's not about gracefully leaving planet Earth. I think it's about gracefully and lovingly living while we're here. So think about this as a painting, okay? Everybody have a blank canvas in front of you. It takes, so as the artist sits rather on a hill, there's this one olive on the ground, just one olive, right? See it. See this one olive. See the tree, the landscape. What captures your eye? And then what might capture another's or the artist's eye, right? The simplicity of that one olive that is ready to either offer nourishment or gracefully go back into the earth. Can you see that picture? Can you see the picture? It takes an artist's eye to see the end of life is unlike a ripe fruit falling from the tree. There's so much charm and allure in nature's process that we just have to open our eyes and look around. And I was thinking about this. Think about this. Baking a loaf of bread and taking it from the oven. The aroma. the cracks on the top of the design by the process, catching our eye, the enjoyment of eating it, dripping with butter, hot bread dripping with butter. How holy joyous is that, right? So each of us needs then to look deeper into everything that is around us, deeper, and find joy and delight in each thing or person that we see, right? Look for harmony, look for grace in all things. Isn't being wholly joyous with little ordinary things so much better than lingering in the dark and the morbid? Let us make ordinary a powerful gift which gives to ourselves and our families. It's all about being willing to change your perspective and see with the eyes of divinity. Yesterday, when the family was leaving and I came and got the little girl in my arms, and I whispered in her ear, "Your brother's already in your heart. He lives there. He's with you. He loves you." And she just looked up with me, these big, big eyes, and just gave me the biggest hug. In the bleakness of that, the ordinariness of the divinity within, not me, Aubrey, me inside of me, to be able to impart that. That is what we need to do. We need to be aware of everybody around us. And if we're so moved, not that we plan, oh, what should I do now? But if we're so moved to that person, that situation, that thing, whatever it may be, then we move. We move toward it, and we give that which we can. And as the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu discuss in the Book of Joy, have any of you ever read the Book of Joy? It is hilariously funny with those two. And they say that true joy is a state of being unaffected by the ups and downs. Unaffected by the ups and downs in life. The Archbishop said, you will have hardships without becoming hard. You will have hardships, but that doesn't mean that you have to become hard, right? And he says we have heartbreak without being broken. I'm going to sneeze. Bless me, thank you. Probably another one too. So, a year ago, we all had different lives. A year ago, we all had different lives, right? Some were great. Some maybe had issues. Some maybe even had loss. We all come from different backgrounds then. We all come from different heartbreaks. Yet we've been thrown together to love because we're inseparable by our soul connection. We're absolutely inseparable, right? Even now, some are okay. Perhaps some are anxious. Some are bored. Some others are in crisis modes. But in all circumstances, adversity or advantage, we only have one thing to do. Focus on what we can control and what we cannot control. And it's nothing new. It's nothing that you don't know. We come together to be reminded of that which we forgot. I do this every week to be reminded of that which I forgot. I don't even remember I wrote this a week ago, and it pertains perfectly for today. I love spirit. I love the hidden joy of, oh, wow. I remember I did a talk a long time ago. Does God still delight you? Yeah, God still delights me. Reverend Chase was saying before the service yesterday, he and I and Jules were here alone, and he said, I'm getting around 62, I'm thinking of retiring. And I went, oh, no way. I says, I'm going to be 83 in June, and I'm not thinking about retiring. And he goes, what? He goes, well, maybe I better rethink it. You know, see, humor, despite everything, we have to have humor. We have to be funny. You know, this too shall come to pass. It's in the good book. It says, this too shall come, not this too shall come to pass, but I said, this too shall come to pass. Because things come in our lives and then they have to pass. If we're willing to let go of them. If we're willing to let go of them, right? And soon things will change and newness will come because it has to. You know, you don't think the tulips and the daffodils are sitting around going, you know, I don't really like this winter. I'm not sure if I'm going to bloom or not. What do you think? Right? Mother Nature says, get your butts up and start to bloom. Right? And that's basically what I'm saying. You have to keep blooming. You'll know when to rest. You'll know when to withdraw. You'll know when to contemplate newness. And you'll know when to rise and bloom. And if you would allow the seasons to be the teachers, you wouldn't even need me, so don't allow it too much, just in case. Okay. One thing, though, is so certain is what? Uncertainty. Is that not the truth? Uncertainty is a certainty. Ultimately, then, this is where the truth of who we are, wherever we are, what matters is our choices. It's always our choices. Always, always, always. The Dalai Lama often reminds us we create most of our suffering, he says, so it should be logical that we also have the ability to create more joy. So simple, right? So simple. Beautiful statements. So for all of those that have been helped along this year, when you get back on your feet, will you remember to pay it forward? Will you remember to pay it forward? Remember I talked when we have to say thank you. Thank you to the youth leaders. Thank you to Leanne. Do we remember to be in gratitude for all the goodness within our places here, right? For those of you who may be suffering depression and anxiety, your choice is to ask for help. Are you asking for help if you need it? For those who are still working, are you sharing and helping those in need? I was so excited today to see when I came in, the food basket was empty and it's full. God bless you guys for doing that. Every week, somebody is bringing in food. Every week. I haven't asked for it in ages, and you're still doing it. Archbishop Tutu shared a story of a mother in South Africa who had almost nothing in a 3-room home. She opened it to nearly 100 orphans. She wasn't happy because her circumstances were easy. She was joyful because she was sharing love. He reminds us that give the world your love, your service, your healing, but you can also give the world your joy. This too is a great gift. And all these things are simply ordinary things that we must do for ourselves and others to be holy joyous. I love being holy joyous. It's fun. So the lesson here is this mother, this woman in Africa, she found profound joy in the ordinary and dire circumstances by focusing on a connection of generosity rather than focusing on her scarcity. We need much more empathy, compassion, and most of all, humor with love tucked under it. Throughout their meeting, the two frequently teased each other about their respective faiths. Archbishop Tutu, a devout Christian, would joke that because the Dalai Lama was Buddhist and didn't believe in the Creator God, and he might have a bit of trouble getting into the Christian version of heaven. So the Archbishop would playfully warn, I'm praying for you, but I'm worried you're going to end up in the other place. The Dalai Lama, in his characteristic style, would simply burst out into a belly laugh and retort that If the Archbishop got there first, he better make sure to keep the door open for his mischievous brother. Two different religions, best friends, enjoying each other, able to laugh about their differences, right? Life, the universe, Mother Nature, crying. Come on, people, smile on your brother. Come on, everybody, love one another right now. Restart your day, restart your life today, right this moment, restart it. Look around and just smile at each other. Come on, shake your heads, look around, just smile a minute, smile at each other. Smile, lighten up, be the beautiful people that you are. Have fun, be happy in this very moment. Don't wait for the perfect time. One of the things Reverend Charles said yesterday was, don't wait to tell people what you think of them. I have a friend, 22 years, a platonic friend. And throughout the years, I would say, you still love me? Absolutely. Right? Different things, really do. 22 years, this man will not say, I love you. And it's a platonic thing, and I laugh about it because he's a practitioner, for God's sakes, in religious science, he knows better. Will not say that word. How many of you are refusing to say to the face of somebody that you love, I love you? Why do we do that? Why do you do that? Sometimes I say I love you to people, and they get uncomfortable because I can't say that back. And they get that freeze thing. It's, oh my God, I'm not asking any of you to marry me, male or female. Be free, be able to say that. Your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews. Sad. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. I remember one time when I was 16 or 17, my mother said, don't you know I love you? I went, no, you never said that. That's a shame. I had to wait 17 years to hear, I love you. That's sad. So I'm asking you, come back to your core values. Your core values, do you sit here when you come in early and read them? These are our core values. They're so simple. God is all there is. We are the essence of God. We create through God. We're in communion with God. We express God. Come back to your core values, the principles that set your soul on fire. These need to set your soul on fire. They're not just words up there. There's something that gives you the strength to go out there every single week and be that better person that you want to be. That's what our core values are. Those are our principles. We can start living joyfully right now. We can embrace the change we want right now. Take the time to allow your soul to speak to you. Listen. Get still. Our soul is the God of our bodies. God is the soul of the world. The soul is the mirror of God. What are you seeing? Look in that mirror. What are you seeing? Can you smile, or do you brush your teeth and make sure your eyes don't connect with your eyes? Can you look in the mirror? The eyes are the window of the soul. Can you look in the mirror and smile and see the beauty of who and what you are? Here's what I know. This morning is almost on. It's finished, almost done, right? Taking care of each one of us is a full-time job, and it can be fun if you laugh at yourself. If you laugh at yourself. It's easy when you live alone because you can just go, I crack myself up. I know, some of you have to go say that by yourself and your partner's not listening. But check in the morning, check in at night, praise yourself for all the good that you've done, and just smile and say, okay, I could do that better. I am the I am that I am. I've entered into this beautiful calm of this Sunday service, this celebration, this joy. I've entered into it. I believe God is calling us. God is pleading with us right now. We are sometimes asked to do things that we're resistant to do. What would that be for you? And so it is. Let's stand. Let's be joyful.
Love is but a song we sing, fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, you may not know why. Come on, people, now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, but we will surely pass. Oh, when the one that left us here returns for us at last.